And we're going to hop right into more news. Mining news going on right here. Hut 8 has added 5,800 mining rigs to its Ontario site. Coming from Bitmain, the company said it will hold all the Bitcoin it mines as other crypto miners sell their coins. That's probably the strategy, right? We've talked about it. That's the strategy you want to be trying to implement in the bear market if at all possible. Canadian crypto miner Hut 8 has added 5,800 Bitcoin mining rigs to its fleet and will continue to hold on to all the crypto it produces, even as other miners sell their tokens to cover operating costs. The new miners at Hut 8's North Bay site in Ontario were operating on 20 megawatts of power as of June 30th, the company said in a Wednesday statement. Its total operating capacity in computing power was 2.78 exahash a second. The company mined 328 Bitcoins during June, increasing its holdings to 7,406 Bitcoin, which is equivalent to 148 million US dollars. Hut 8 will continue to hold its mined Bitcoin while the other miners are selling to pay for running expenses and loan obligations. On Tuesday, Core Scientific, one of the biggest miners by computing power, said it sold 7,202 Bitcoins in June to raise 167 million US dollars. Miners have seen their revenue dwindle along with the price of Bitcoin in the past month. Some are also facing margin calls on debt issues during bull times as the value of their collateral, usually Bitcoin or mining rigs, has also diminished. Hut 8 is one of the least leveraged publicly listed miners relative to its equity, according to data analyzed by CoinDesk. At the end of last year, it had 140 million Canadian dollars, which is the equivalent of 107 US million dollars, in cash, according to its annual earnings report. The company has also diversified its revenue streams away from crypto. Its high-performance computing business is on track to grow by up to 18% by the end of 2022, according to the statement. And that's a lot of what they're doing with the GPU side of things, is basically leveraging out of Ethereum mining and moving into that high-powered computing with all of the GPUs that they have. Keeping in mind that if you recall, Hut 8 had an exclusive deal with NVIDIA for GPUs that we're not really even necessarily aware of were on the market, and we don't even know exactly what they were because they haven't told us. We just know that they're supposedly the most efficient GPUs available. And so from a high-powered computing standpoint as well, my assumption is that they're ready to go and probably close to data center level processing power, meaning from the memory perspective, I think you're looking at HBM2E at the very least, which is going to help them, stay competitive in that realm. That's Hut 8 though, and there are a lot of other miners that are starting to sell off all their Bitcoin and putting pressure on the market. But as we talked about yesterday, of course, that pressure on the market is not as much because the halving has cut down the amount of mintable Bitcoin to only about 900 a day, which means there's way more volume in the market than the miners have influence on if they were selling it all. So it's extremely interesting if you look at it from that perspective, because we are getting further and further away of great impact from the halving. We're getting smaller impacts from the halving. It doesn't mean that it's irrelevant yet. I think that it will continue to be relevant for, a few more cycles, but we are getting closer and closer. And I think that's, kind of intentional, and the way it will play out at the end of the day, we'll just start to see kind of it dwindle in effect over the next few decades. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. You can check out the full episode here or more crypto content down here. Also, I'd like you to check out my locals page at sonofatech.locals.com, where you can become a member for free or choose to be a $5 a month supporter that unlocks additional content.